So good morning to all of you. Uh, what was the last topic? Human Development Index. So Human Development Index was given by UNDP. Every year they publishes one report known as Human Development Report. It was started first time in the year 1990 by a team of economists which was led by Mehboob ul Haq, the Pakistani economist, and Amartya Sen, the Nobel Prize from India, Nobel Prize winner in 1997 in economics, was also the part of that team. Apart from that, some factual information. So first you have to write Human Development Index. Human Development Index was first published in the year 1990. In the year 1990 by the organization called United Nations Development Program. United Nations Development Program. In bracket you write UNDP. UNDP. Full stop. HDI is the part of annual report of UNDP, which is known as HDR, that is Human Development Report. Human Development Report. Full stop. HDI was developed by a team of economists. HDI was developed by a team of economists which was led by Mehboob ul Haq. In bracket you write a Pakistani economist. In bracket you write a Pakistani economist. Close the bracket, comma. Amartya Sen, the Nobel Prize winner from India, was also the part of the team. Full stop. Next paragraph. In the year 2010, UNDP changed its methodology. To calculate HDI. Full stop. Now just understand. So we have HDI. There are three key parameters on the basis of which we calculate Human Development Index of a particular country. So currently we are calculating 188 countries Human Development Index. First one is knowledge, health, standard of living. These are the three key parameters in order to calculate Human Development Index. So health, knowledge and standard of living. First one we'll discuss health. So health, major concern. We have already discussed in yesterday's class about human development. How human capital is important in order to development of a country, or we can say in order to achieve the growth of that particular country. How human development or how health plays an important part. So you can hear from these two parameters, we can address the major part of human capital. So on the part of knowledge, we take education as major important criteria to calculate the knowledge base of a particular country. Okay. So we'll write one by one all these parameters. And standard of living, the third one, is based on GNI per capita income, gross national income, and that is based on PPP, that is purchasing power parity. It means the real per capita income. Okay. So we'll write first you write health. Health is measured on the parameters of life expectancy of an individual. Do you know what is life expectancy? Estimated years of living of an individual. See, life expectancy. What I have written, please repeat. Repeat the whole sentence.
Health is measured on the life expectancy
of an individual. Full stop. It consists 33% of the weightage. It consists 33% of the weightage in HDI. Why? Because we have equal division of these three, 1/3, 1/3 and 1/3. See, next line, that is knowledge. Knowledge. HDI takes into consideration the educational aspect. HDI takes into consideration the educational aspect on the basis of two key parameters. On the basis of two key parameters. First one you write. First one is mean years of schooling. Mean, MEAN. That is same as average. Mean years of schooling. Put a colon and write. It is an average number of years. It is an average number of years which an individual is attended the school in his or her lifetime. which an individual attended school in his or her lifetime. Like for example, just understand, like for example, suppose an individual attended school till the class 8th standard, so 8 years of schooling. Then another individual is suppose 10th tak pada hai, then 10 plus 8 divided by 2. So what is mean years of schooling for the two individual is 9 years. So like for example, we have to calculate for whole country. Now second one is expected years of schooling. So you write expected years of schooling. Put a colon. It is an important indicator. It is an important indicator to analyze the future policies, to analyze the future policies of a country related to primary education as well as secondary education. Primary education as well as secondary education. Full stop. It is the number which is expected from an individual. It is a number which is expected from an individual to attend the school, expected from an individual to attend the school by the age of 25 years. By the age of 25 years. Full stop. Do you get the point? It means by the year 25 years, if an individual attains the age of 25 years, what is the expectation? That an individual will attend these number of years that he attended or she attended in the school. Getting my point? So, now coming on to the third one, that is standard of living. Standard of living is the major part of developmental economics. If you are measuring development of a particular country, first of all, you have to see the standard of living of that particular country's people. So first one, in HDI, you write, in HDI, the standard of living is measured on real per capita income, which is based on gross national income, and measured on the basis of nominal or PPP? PPP. So you write purchasing power parity, on the basis of purchasing power parity. First off, now you understand the word real. Here real per capita income means it is based on PPP, purchasing power parity. I'll explain later what is PPP. Okay. Just for the basic understanding, you can understand that what is the power of money to buy commodities. At nominal basis, it means it is the power of money to exchange with other currencies. Check. So we have completed all these three. 1/3 weightage of all these three. So you write last minute, you write 1 point. 1/3 weightage in front of knowledge as well as in front of standard of living. In bracket you can write 1/3 weightage. One-third weightage of health, knowledge and standard of living. This is the formula to calculate Human Development Index.
Sir, is there a data होता है जैसे health का data है, standard of living, तो country provide करती है?
Country provided. And there are people belonging to UNDP. They also assist in research. But generally, the data is collected by the national government. But UNDP just analyze those data.
Sir, national government is उसको
Manipulate कर सकते. But there are some like UNESCO is helpful in providing the data of knowledge.
state counter से
Huh. This data is provided by World Bank and IMF. So counter check this. This is the most authentic index in this today's world. So country do take seriously this HDI. Other indicators have many flaws like which one? Which one? UNDP, United Nations Development Program.
it is authentic just because of it provided by the United Nations.
Because obviously because this is authentic data and you cannot manipulate data of World Bank. Because one of my friend is working with the World Bank. You cannot manipulate. Even if you belong to any other superpower countries, you cannot manipulate data of World Bank. World Bank, IMF, WTO. But more or less World Bank and IMF is immune from any interruption from any big countries. So data is pretty authentic. You can always trust this data. So latest report, this is not very utmost important, but we have to calculate geometric mean. You understand geometric mean? Number of units divided under root by number of items. So if we have 4 items, we should write 4 here. So you can just write the formula. UPSC will never gonna ask this formula. But if you know HDI, this formula reminds you that these three have 1/3 weightage in HDI, equal weightage. So we cannot say that weightage of standard of living is more than education or health. Equal weightage. Now countries belonging to 0.8 to 1 unit, we can say countries having high HDI. So these are the parameters: high, medium and low HDI. So what do you think? Where's the position of India? India belongs to middle position, medium HDI. Score is around 0.56. On the lower side of the medium bracket. The recent report we have with us is of 2016. India scored, or India secured the rank of 131. Okay, numbers are not important, but trend is important. If the question comes, India's ranking in HDI has been improving. So what will you say? This is in 2016. In 2015, India secured 130. In 14, 131. Then before that, 136. Then we can say that trend has been improving. Not drastically like ease of doing business index, 130, from 130 to 100. But we can say that India has been improving on HDI. लिख लो इसको. The trend says India has been improving in terms of parameters given by HDI. Number 1 country is Norway. These are factual information, not very important. You will find in the printed notes. But the concept behind HDI is the question of means. This was the factual information what is provided by UNDP. Now we will discuss the application of this HDI. What's the improvement? In today's class, we'll discuss one important topic of inclusive growth. The first line mentioned in our main syllabus, inclusive growth. But before that, we'll discuss economic structure of our country. Because in order to understand growth and the inclusivity in that particular sector or in that particular country, first we need to understand the economic structure of our country. We can say from India's perspective, we'll understand economic structure. Because we often compare India and China. But economic structure is vastly different. Then how can we compare these two countries? So first of all, we need to understand economic structure of country so that you can imagine the scenario after independence till 2018. Okay? That I was talking yesterday. So there are some discrepancies in HDI. Do you have any idea after discussing this HDI for last 20 minutes? Do you get any idea that what are the limitations of this index HDI? So first one you write. HDI, you write heading. Discrepancies or limitations, you write. Limitations of HDI. Limitations of HDI. Although there are few, 2, 3, but they are important to discuss in this class. First one is, it does not take into account the inequality aspect of development. It does not take into account the inequality aspect of development. Full stop. Just understand. Yesterday we were discussing that there is a possibility that a country can achieve growth without development. See, I'll give you some beautiful examples. Like for example, you remember that in 1970s, 60s, 70s, 80s, there were few countries. Again in 1990s, there were few countries. When we compare West Asian countries and East Asian countries, getting my point? In 1990s, what we can say, East Asian growth miracle. It means East Asian economy grew at a faster rate. Their GDP growth shot up instantly. But they are able to sustain that growth rate and accompanied with their human development and development of their total infrastructure. If we think about 60s, 70s, the same example we have with our West Asian economies. Those who were earning petrodollars. You understand petrodollars? Dollars earned by selling petrol, like Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the best example of growth without development. Best example. There was no development. Right now you can also find, apart from Riyadh, Jeddah and few cities, Saudi Arabia has not been developed. They've earned huge income. Huge income. We cannot compare their income with any other country. Reason I'll let you know. But first just understand. Reason I'll let you know. What happened? Growth without development. Growth accompanied with development. There are two scenarios. Then what happened with this HDI? Like for example, Brazil having lot of inequalities in their economy. We have billionaires in Brazil as well as lot of poor people. So HDI does not take this thing into account. HDI measures Saudi Arabia and Brazil at a same level. Another limitation, second one you write. Per capita income is not a good measure. Per capita income is not a good measure to calculate standard of living. To calculate standard of living. Per capita income is not a good measure to calculate a standard of living. Yesterday we had discussed. Why? Because it does not take into account the distributional aspect of national income. Per capita income is same for a poor people as well as for a billionaire. So it does not take. So there is a big limitation because we are giving 1/3 weightage of standard of living in HDI, and that too we are taking one traditional form of to measure standard of living, that is per capita income, that we used in 1960s, 50s. But here we do not have any other alternative to measure that. So this is the second limitation of HDI. See? So what was your question? Yes?
What is the reason?
Reason actually economic system. Because economic system of West Asian countries and East Asian countries is totally different. Orthodoxy, democratic institution, West Asian countries accumulating private wealth. They were selling natural resources to private businessmen. That same happening in Russia also. No. Are you interested in football? Dekha thoda football. Roman Abramovich, you know Roman Abramovich, owner of Chelsea. He is the owner of one of the biggest oil fields in Siberia. Do you have any example in India? Do you have any example in Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong? No. So we can say economic system, corruption, nepotism, accumulation of private wealth. Getting my point? So economic system matters a lot in terms of growth. Compare the two countries like Latin America and North America. There's a vast difference. Economic structure, because economic structure of Latin America was very different based on primary sector, the growth of primary sector. But talking about North America, independent from the 18th century. America got its independence in the year 1776. What about Latin America? It was under the colonial rule of Spain, Portugal, many other countries. So economic system matters a lot. Autocracy we can say, totalitarian states. Economic structure of East Asian countries totally different, based on export promotion. What is known as East Asian miracle. Or these 4 or 5 countries, Hong Kong, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, known as East Asian tigers. I'll discuss today East Asian financial crisis of 1997. So we'll get to know what happened, because started from Thailand by depreciating Thai baht. So rupee is currently depreciating. No sign of worry. This is a contagion effect. I'll let you know what is contagion effect. And in yesterday's newspaper, you will find the back series data of GDP. So we've discussed GDP. Today we'll discuss back series data, or maybe tomorrow we'll discuss, because it will take time to consolidate in the newspaper. So we'll discuss in this trip also. See, getting my point? Okay. Third one is HDI does not takes into account the growth of an individual, such as skills, higher education, etc. Skill development, you write skill development and higher education, etc. It means we are totally ignoring what? Higher education. I'm sure you would agree with me that higher education plays an important role in employment. So whenever you are taking knowledge on the basis of school education, but you are taking standard of living, that is on the basis of income. This was one of the part of my research paper. So you will not find anywhere this discrepancy. Because when we compare income level, what's the first source of income? Employment. And how will you find employment? With the help of skills. We have initiated programs like Make in India. 25th September 2014, Make in India. What happened? Initially, we got a good response of Make in India. But after that, a lot of foreign firms were saying that, Mr. Modi, your labor force is not skilled enough. The skill of your labor force is not at par with the need of the industries. There's a mismatch in the education level and what the demand of industries as a labor force. Why people are doing graduation, then again for post-graduation, then MPhil, then PhD, just delaying the conditions of unemployment. Although it looks rude very, but this is the current situation. When you see or when you compare India with other foreign countries, you will find job after graduation. It means the level of our education in graduation level is not enough to find or to get a good job. Then you do some value addition by doing post-graduation. So secondary education matters a lot. Getting my point? So HDI does not include secondary education, which is a vital point in order to get employment. And whenever you will get employment, your standard of living will go up. So how will you connect these two things? Knowledge, then standard of living. There's one big gap. So we have to fulfill this gap. Although it is very difficult to calculate data of 188 countries. Getting my point? But in future, we can say that this plays an important role. Get my point? Shall we write something about this point in elaborated manner? Because you will not find anywhere in the book. Okay, third point. We have to elaborate third point. Human Development Index includes only school education. Includes only school education. But ignores the importance of higher education. Which is a vital part to gain a decent employment opportunity. Full stop. HDI measures standard of living. On the basis of income. But there is a big gap. Between school education and employment opportunities. Full stop. By incorporating higher education, after full stop you write, by incorporating higher education in HDI, we can easily say, that Human Development Index, or you write HDI is a comprehensive index. HDI is a comprehensive index to measure development of a particular economy. So, do you understand the idea behind this? ठीक है.